We interrupt your normally scheduled meeting in order to tell you that the Anime Dudes podcast has a new episode and you are welcome to listen in. Hello, everyone. My name is Bjorvio, and joining me on this another episode of amazingness and stupidifiness is
The anime dad, but stupidifineness is an incredible, incredible word. Did you just make that up?
I 100% just made that up. And you know what? I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
It is sounding beautiful. You make up beautiful words. You know, I also say big words sometimes to make myself sound more photosynthesis.
Well, now you just sound transparent.
what, what's up today, Bjorvio?
Oh, not much, man. Just having a pretty chill day, all things considered. Got to play some video games, worked on some tech stuff, and now I get to record with one of my best friends. What's going on with you? How's your day going?
Good. It's 9:51 in the morning here, and I did a fitness class this morning, and so I had to wake up quite early. I've got a lamb in the background. You might hear it a couple of times, but that's okay. Who won out of you and the person you were playing with Mario Kart?
Well, before I answer that question, I just wanted to say I appreciate you saying that that's a lamb, but we all know that I'm having gastro issues today, and no, I'm just kidding. So it was me and my wife, and we were playing some Mario Kart. We just got that pretty recently, which I've been super excited about. And I won like a lot, and then she came and just destroyed me like the last one. And then we tried the new battle mode on it. It's actually pretty fun. I really, really enjoyed it.
Okay, I'll give that a go. Mario is my favorite anime. I'm not sure if you're aware, but it is.
I knew that was yours, just like Zelda's my favorite anime.
Heck yeah. So what are we talking about today, Bjorvio?
Well, today we are talking. Where we left off last time was Aizawa did the ultimate dad move and said, "Screw you" to Shiggy, and took his own leg off so he could continue to use his quirk, which was awesome. And that's where we left off. Really hard place to leave off there, if we're being honest, because how do you stop right there? But then you remember that that's pretty much where the episode stops, so I don't feel that bad.
You know, Aizawa doesn't really have a leg to stand on in regards to that point. um, you know what I've been enjoying? I've been enjoying these weird random questions that we just make up. So maybe we can have three questions each, me and you. Would that be okay?
Oh yeah, dude, I'm down. I'm down. Let's go.
All right. Okay. If you went into witness protection today and they said you have to choose what your name is going to be, what would it be?
Probably something crazy like either Jim Bob Skillet Biscuit or the most obscure name to where I could blend in any crowd, like I don't know, John Doe or something like that.
Jim Bob Skewer Biscuits are amazing. All right, and then my next question is, if you were a serial killer, what what would the what would your finishing move be?
I finished. um, I think it would probably be something that I thought was cool that no one else did.
Yeah.
So I think it would be like the slasher or something like that.
Mm, mm, I like that. All right, and final question. Uh, what what was your favorite subject in high school?
Um, so I'm not I we actually had I really liked the sciences, like not really like but not I wasn't really into like bio or chemistry, but like physics and stuff like that. I really liked physics. I also really liked my music class. I thought all of those were pretty cool. Um, did not care for math or English. I did
Hmm.
like history though.
Nice. Yeah, you seem like a history's my type of thing as well. All right, your questions.
All right. So, what is your favorite chord?
G, because it's so versatile and beautiful, and G brings in so many. It's happy. It makes you smile when you hear it. I can almost actually, I don't think I've got perfect pitch, but let me just think. Dun, 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 dun. G. Yep, I think that's a G chord. G. All right, next.
Pretty close, pretty close. Not that I have perfect pitch either, but um, if you walked outside and you saw the sun a particular color, what color would be the most concerning to you to just walk outside and see the sun a particular color?
Green, because I'd think I was having a stroke. and and or green or red would be a good options there.
All right. And final question. What is your least favorite planet and why?
Uranus, just because it's a name. It's been the butt of many jokes in the past, and it's it's just a name, really.
I
But
did
yeah.
not know you were so anal about that, but hey, here we are.
That's amazing. Okay. Well, he cuts his own leg off, and that is a terrifying prospect. But he keeps looking at Shiggy, which is an incredible moment in history. What happens next?
So, in order to basically, at this point, Shiggy's just done. And he takes Aizawa out of the fight basically by like squishing his face um, long enough. But Izuku then kind of like starts defending Aizawa. And it's at this point that Shiggy's back to full power, kind of. Not really. He hasn't fully finished yet, and he's pretty dinged up. But at this point, they realize he can use decay. And my gosh, what a scary concept.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying because decay is such a destructive force. And Deku realizes that he needs to keep Shiggy in the air to stop other people from getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very smart move. And but Deku, luckily, he has that float quirk, and he's trained a little bit at it to be
Yeah.
able to be competent enough to stay in the air and still fight. I think one of the things I really like about Deku is the fact that even if he is going plus ultra with his physical body, his mind is still thinking, what's next, what's next. He's playing chess in his head, and that's very different to All Might. All Might, even though he is smart with his fighting skill, he still has he's more focused on his physical prowess rather than the mental strategy of it all. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, All Might does, like you said, to some extent still think about these things. I mean, obviously, he kind of had to, like in the fight with Nomu and All for One, but the way that he strategizes is not the same level as Deku. Deku is much more like he's 3 or 4 steps ahead compared to 1 or 2. Um, like All Might is. Deku takes more advantage of the environment and is more aware of that than All Might is. So I think that's a very fair assumption or assumption? Yes,
Hmm.
assumption to make
Hmm.
of Izuku.
Now, if Izuku was your best friend, do you think he'd be and you were about to get married, all right? He was your best friend and your best man at the wedding. How would your bachelor party go?
I honestly probably I would assume a very tame bachelor party. Like he might be like, "All right, guys, so we're gonna go to Top Golf, and then after that, we're gonna go back and play board games. Oh, doesn't that sound like fun? Maybe we'll watch it for the real like big thing of the night is we'll watch a big scary movie, and it's like Scream One or something like that. You know, very 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 tame,
All right,
which I'm okay with. I'm a pretty boring person.
I'm the same, but compare that with someone like Bakugo.
Bakugo wouldn't think I would deserve a bachelor party and would tell me to get over it because I'm a dang nerd.
I've got one more, and you don't have to answer this. Mineta.
Mineta would be the absolute most bachelor party, but it would be like he would just hire whoever he could get, or he'd take you to a club. And the thing about Mineta though is you would have to pay for him.
Yeah.
He's that much of a just not good person.
That is very, very true. He is quite a bad guy. Okay, well they're in the air, they're fighting, they're going. It's quite intense. Is this where Dobby's dance comes into play?
So that's coming up, because what we still haven't covered yet is Gigantomachia
Oh,
hasn't even started. We haven't even really talked about that yet.
yeah, true. Gigantomachia comes into play, and he's an absolute beast. And his quirks, his quirk is what really?
Who knows at this point? What I mean, we know he has multiple, but so is there? What even is his original quirk?
Yeah.
Is it just I'm the size of a mountain? Well, we have somebody else that does that, but Gigantomachia does it better. I don't know. I don't know.
Because he's a freak of nature, he's got those spikes on his back. He's huge. He's mentally he's almost like a Nomu, really,
He kind of
mentally.
is. Yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
and so when you know things are bad, when he picks up the league and puts him on his back and they start running, and there's another scene we really haven't talked about, and that is where he's running there and the heroes are trying to stop him. Culinary Woods is trying to catch up to him. He throws Miss Midnight at Gigantomachia to try and stop him, and Compress throws a bunch of stuff on Midnight and effectively takes her out of the fight. And we find out later, spoiler alert, I guess,
Mm.
for she dies.
Yeah, you're right. We didn't cover that. And that's a very sad moment. Like she didn't play a massive role in the whole My Hero Academia show, but she
No.
still is, if Daddy Eraserhead is the dad, she's kind of this stepmom. She's like a stepmom. But
Kinda.
yeah, no, it was sad, but it wasn't terribly sad. To be honest, I was probably more sad that Twice died over
I was
her.
100% more sad that Twice died.
Yeah.
I didn't cry for Midnight or anything when it happened. It was
Mm.
just kind of like, wow, I can't believe they actually did it. I did
Mm.
not expect them to do it. That was one of the first major deaths of a pro hero that we'd seen. And I never would have guessed it would have been Midnight. Honestly, I would have expected it to be Present Mike. And I don't know why I thought that, but
That's
um
true. Prison Mike, yeah, he can be annoying now and again. No, no, I agree with you there. And as a show I'm glad they throw some deaths in there because there's always too much plot armor on a lot of people, and
mhm.
many shows don't kill people enough. Not in a, that sounds really bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like they're like imagine if this whole thing in My Hero and not a single person dies. It kind of takes a little bit of the scale out of it,
Mm,
because it's like how many people were involved in this, and you got all these people with these deadly quirks and this training, and then this is you know it would be a little weird that if nobody did. So I respect that Horikoshi's decision to kill certain people, and I honestly think Midnight was a great choice. I didn't see it coming, and I love the speech that she gives at the very end, where she's kind of like passing on the torch to Momo a little bit, saying it's really up to you. You can run, you can fight, do whatever you need to do, and then get the heck out of there.
mm,
And the way that she words it kind of makes me believe that she knows that she's going to pass.
hmm. She can probably feel, yeah, the impending doom of it all. Yeah, and that group of Class 1A do a really, really good job next. They've got this a lot of them have their provisional hero licenses. All of them do, but
Hmm.
it is a terrifying prospect. One of the strongest villains they've ever faced, and the strongest human they've probably ever seen, is in front of them, and they need to try come up with a plan. And obviously, Momo comes up with a plan to try sedate him. They've got, I think that was the best plan of action. And then
Hmm.
she created this sedatives, didn't she?
She created the sedatives. Mudman did something with the ground. The plan was well thought out, but they couldn't anticipate him sneezing.
That's true. And I loved Red Riot basically climbing up Gigantomachia
Oh
at
my
one point.
gosh. I love that scene because it almost kind of redeems Kirishima a little bit, because the first time that, he talks about in his backstory how he was too frozen against Gigantomachia early on, and Ashida was the one that reacted. And in
Ah.
this time, she freezes in front of Gigantomachia, and Red Riot is the one that saves the day. And it's I love the comparison of those two scenes, because it really shows how far Red Riot has come, not just as a hero, but in his own ideals to be the chivalrous hero that he set out to be. And it's like, no, you completely redeemed yourself. You literally ran through fire. Yes, you can't get burned, but you can still feel the heat. You saved your friend. You had the forethought to take her sedative, let Toga destroy one so you could get the other one in. Red Riot was an absolute hero in that moment, and completely and utterly redeemed anything he felt in his past that didn't make him worthy. Even though to us, the audience, I never felt that way about Kirishima.
Really good point. Really good point. Thank you for bringing that up. That is a good point. Let's say Red Riot was your history teacher, and Miss Midnight was the principal. What sort of homework would President Mike give you as your homeroom teacher?
Present Mike, oh gosh, I could see. I don't even remember what present. Well, okay, let's say that Present Mike was my homework. Okay, I could see Present Mike giving a bunch of homework, but like the sheet has a bunch of misspelled words on it, and has words like, has things like, um find the solve for X, you dig, on it and stuff like that. I could see him either being the one that gives like way too little homework or way too much homework. He's definitely not balanced in that regard. I wouldn't think.
No, I'm full of these really cool questions today. All right, if Gigantomachia was your chiropractor, how long would you survive?
Wouldn't even make it in from the lobby. Just see that, just see him and just heart attack. Nope, I'm not letting that dude snap my neck.
That's sometimes terrifying. I've just a side note. I've been on the TikTok chiropractic TikTok, and my goodness, some of those clicks can be intense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
that's very anime related. But okay, moving on to Gigantomachia actually getting away, and Class 1A not knowing whether the sedative affected him or not, which is uh,
Terrifying.
terrifying and sad because they believe they've lost the battle. And
Right.
again,
Meanwhile, Deku
yeah,
meanwhile, Deku's over there like he's fighting off Shiggy. My phone's going off too. That's crazy. Doing flame breathing. That's the wrong anime. Um, but he's holding off Shiggy while all this is going on, and that's when I think we get a really great moment from Bakugo once Shoto enters the field, and he cools off Endeavor. Bakugo's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. When Black Whip is fully stretched out, Endeavor, we're gonna get you up there, and you're gonna fricking Prominence burn the living heck out of this man and make him a crispy chicken Shiggy Nuggy.
yep, and that's an incredible moment, and good of Bakugo. These students are stepping up. Come on, Endeavor, you butt. Do something more than just stand there. Uh, he goes up. He prominence burns Shiggy. Shiggy basically turns completely ash black and still has a smile on his face, takes Endeavor out, is about to kill Deku when a very, very pivotal, special moment happens in the whole series. Probably one of my favorite moments in the series. What happens, Bjorvio?
So we get this flashback of Bakugo and All Might while Deku's learning how to use float, and just saying like All Might saying, you know he doesn't blame you for any of this. And because Bakugo's basically admitting like, yeah, I bullied him because I couldn't deal with my own, how I felt about myself. I couldn't deal with that, so I bullied him. I couldn't deal with who he was, so I pushed him away. And All Might's like, well, he doesn't blame you for that. You got to keep going. He doesn't, you're a good friend to him. And then we get Kachan. I don't know if it's technically considered a quirk awakening, but this is the fastest Bakugo has ever moved. Again, going back to a scene where he reacted without thinking, just like Deku did when Bakugo was swarmed up by the swamp monster in episode 2. They've switched places. Midoriya is about to be impaled, and Bakugo's like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And he nails Deku out of the way just in time, and he gets impaled by All For One. And I mean, what was going through your mind when you saw that happen?
It's a goosebump moment for me. I had goosebumps. I thought to myself, what a special moment in the series. I gained more respect for Bakugo, and I just, yeah, very, very special moment. I think I teared up as well, and I was in shock. I was with my daughter at the time, and we both said the same thing. We were like, what? Yeah, very good moment, and a good place to actually. I know we leave on these terrible moments, not these terrible, these epic moments, but it's a good place to give another question to you. If you were in a street race against Bakugo, okay, like Need for Speed, what color would your car be?
I would go red, which he would probably make fun of me for, but I'm like, hey, red's one of my favorite colors. And I'm not going to go blue because nothing. How often does anything fast ever colored blue? You got to go red, you got to go orange, you got to go yellow. Yes, those are Bakugo's colors, but hey, I'm in it to win it. I got the need for speed. Need to please Kachan, okay?
I think he'd have the same. He'd probably have a red car. And you know what he would do? He would put his hand out the window and use his quirk at the same time to get a little bit of a boost in the car. I'm sure that'll give a little boost towards it.
Right, and then he'd call me a loser for not being able to keep up with a man with a quirk, but whatever.
Hey, your quirk, you can put your fingers out the window and shoot your sweat back, and that'll boost you forward. Or your sweat can go in front of his car and make his car wobble because it'll be so sweaty on the road.
Yeah, maybe the sweat from my the salt from my sweat will get on his windshield, make it hard for him to see. So he's got to take some slow down to clean it off a little bit. Maybe I have a chance here. Maybe.
You could. Okay, well, we've got an improv idea, and I think I will be a girl. Okay, Bakugo was on Tinder, and he found this girl that he wants to go on a date with, and it's their first date, and we'll just go from there. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Hey, thanks for taking me to this place. I've been here a couple of times already, but not bad.
What are you saying, that I'm unoriginal?
Well, it is McDonald's, and I'm just saying it's not the most fancy place.
I'm a student in high school, okay? I have an unpaid internship. What else do you want from me?
That's true.
What do you think I am? One of those Todoroki jerks? I don't come from money.
That's true. So tell me about yourself. What are your hobbies?
My well, um, my hobbies include exploding people
Yeah.
and saving those losers that can't save themselves. And I train with my friend Deku. I mean, my loser idiot Deku. And I talk to All Might. And I like to go to bed early so people will stop bothering me.
Okay, yeah, I can see. And one of that I saw that on your Tinder profile. Another thing that I really liked on your Tinder profile, it said you really love puppies, like little puppies with cute faces. Is that right?
Oh, that nerd! Deku. Yeah, Deku got into my account one night and changed all this stuff because he's like, look, Kachan, I bet this will make you better with the ladies. Well, tell him that he's just a loser. I guess I didn't change everything. But what kind of idiot doesn't love dogs anyway?
That's true. That's true. Hey, I think I'm ready for you to meet my parents. Maybe we can stop by there on the way home.
Are they losers?
Yep.
How about we go somewhere cooler instead? Like I'll get an ice cream and explode it in someone's face.
Well, that's a good idea. What are we doing after this, by the way? I know you said your dinner and then a show. I'm not sure what the show was.
Um, you see, I kind of let Deku plan part of that too. I told him that no one else is going to do it. He is allowed to do it, but I'm afraid that he's going to show you that one performance that Class 1A did at the not the sports festival, that other fest. I'm sorry, you're making me really nervous and I don't like it.
I know the festival. Yeah, I didn't go because I'm a jujitsu high, and I think that's how you say it. But I'm I'm there, and you haven't even asked me any questions, by the way. You've been talking about yourself a heck of a lot.
Uh, yeah, you're right. How did you, do you like heroes?
I love heroes, but I prefer villains.
Of course you do, you freaking loser. This is it. We're done. This is it. I can't be with someone who likes villains. So just because of that, you're gonna have to pay the bill. Forget this. I'm out of here.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Now I just have to wait for Mr. Aizawa to come pick me up.
I'll see you later while you're sleeping.
You better not.
That was fun. Nice job. Nice job. Very good, Bakugo, as always. You sounded a little bit, when you were impersonating Deku, you sounded like Inosuke a little bit. I sensed like Inosuke coming out.
I didn't realize it till the end, and I'm like, man, that's like Bakugo definitely sounds a little bit like Inosuke or Muscle Man from regular show there. Okay. But I'm like, well, if that was the I'm gonna try one more thing again. Like if I do that, so yeah, if Deku were to ever say anything like that to me, he would sound like, "Oh, Kachan, you look so nice and handsome today. What a nerd!"
That's good. That's good. I like that a lot. All right, well, take us home with a voice of your choice, and that was a good part. That was a good episode, a really good episode. Take us home.
All right. I got 3 questions for you to determine the voice. Number 1, anime or non-anime?
Anime.
Okay. Demon Slayer or My Hero?
Demon.
Okay. Hero or villain?
Villain.
Okay. Gyutaro it is. That's the only one I can do.
I know.
Well, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Anime Dudes podcast. We hope that you enjoyed it ever so much. Please come back next week where we're going to be talking about some very wonderful things, like when All Might or All for One tries to steal one for all. You don't want to miss that, especially if you like My Hero lore. So please come back next week, and if you don't, well, let's just say you'll figure out why I am Upper Moon 6 instead of one of those lower ranked losers.